Let's start the recording right now. All right, guys, we are live. I mean, not live, but we are recording. This is going to go on my YouTube, and I am with no other than the legend, Alan Fisher, my arm wrestling coach, the man who taught me how to arm wrestle right here. And he
you need to come closer to the camera because your arm looks really small compared to mine.
It does. It does.
Look at that.
Nice. But you know, Alan, I'm honored to have you as an arm wrestling coach. I really appreciate everything you've done for me since I was very young. And let's talk about the Olympia. You are now Mr. Olympia at the arm wrestling 165-pound weight class. How does that feel?
It feels great. You know, it was really awesome to see all my friends, people I've known for over the years getting together and wanting to pull and party, I guess. There's a lot of partying going on.
I can only imagine. Only imagine. I mean, the after party on that was probably off the charts, I imagine.
I didn't go, dude. I was like, I was exhausted. I barely had any sleep for the past 3 days prior. I probably had 6 hours sleep in 3 days.
Yeah.
So it's really difficult for me to sleep before a major event because my adrenaline is just crazy. I know I checked it that the night before the competition and my heart rate was like 102.
Oh, wow. That's considerably high.
Yeah.
Is that normal? Is that normal for you? Do you see that?
There you go. Over the top. I'm not sure what it says in there, but that's pretty awesome.
It says intensity.
Oh, nice.
Mr. Intensity.
Very cool.
So, Alan, how many days did you have to acclimate for that competition? Because you were flying across the country.
Not enough. Not enough. I need to make sure I'm there like 2 days before the competition and get acclimated. It's just so important. I think 4 days, 4 days minimum to come in best performance, I think. Yeah. And if you're going to Europe, that might be a little bit, you need to add a couple of days.
I think 1 week minimum if you're going to Europe.
Yeah, there you go.
2 weeks would be ideal.
Yeah.
Just my opinion, though. I've never done it. I'm not an expert in it at all. But Alan, that was a tough class. I heard you had a lot of really good competition. You had someone show up by the name of Hunter, who is one of the best in North America at the 154 to 165, 176. He's really strong, and I heard he showed up in good form. Is that true?
Are you talking about the Carolina Hurricane?
Yes, I am. Yes,
I
am.
I have to be open and honest with you, man. He really surprised me. For him being as small as he is, he has one of the most powerful hits I think I've felt. Fast, powerful hit. And I need to emphasize that word fast. Because you know me, like when I set up with him in one of our matches, I think it was left-handed, I realized that unless I loaded back on him, right, he was going to get me in trouble. So that's exactly what I learned, is that you needed to, as it were, force load him in order to catch his speed. And I did left-handed in one of my matches with him, and he knew there was something different. And it really didn't matter. He was still able to hit me so hard and fast that I actually, because of him, I have an injured arm right now. Kudos to you there, big boy. Yeah, it's he's definitely man, he's got a huge potential. Kyle, I have no idea where he's going to go in the sport. He trains under Chad Silvers.
Yeah, that's his mentor who's taught him how to arm wrestle, Chad Silvers.
Yeah, I mean, to me, he looks like a guy that just walked off the farm, and you wouldn't think him to be just an arm wrestler. Yeah. It's like a fun beer drinking, let's have a good time.
He's fairly young.
Yeah, I don't even know if he's 20 years old.
Yeah, I would love to find out. It's too bad this isn't live. People would probably let us know. I know people were very excited to hear your take on him because he's a hot prospect. He's coming up in the sport really quickly, and he might become the strongest at 154 within the next year.
Yeah.
I mean, he has great guys to worry about, like Vosk and Sadoy. And
you think Boston will go down to 154 again?
I believe so.
You do?
I mean, I've hung out with Voskin a lot recently, different things, and he reassures me that he's definitely coming down to 154. He just needs a good incentive.
Yeah, money.
Yes. There's got to be a reason to do it,
Right.
I mean, he's an athlete just like yourself. You guys are the best in the world at that weight range, right? Like most of your competitions, people don't even know, but you weigh in sometimes under 160. You're in the 160 to 163 range sometimes.
Yeah, I think if I would have gone in not wearing anything, I would have been 161.
Yeah.
At this event.
You could easily make 154, but that's not something you
thought about doing. I wouldn't. I hate dieting.
It's not dieting. It's not drinking water for one day.
I'm telling you, I don't even like the water diet. I don't like putting my body through things like that. Like I was asking my friend Paul about, what do you do when you don't like heat, you don't like dieting, you don't like water dieting, and you want to lose weight? Because you've been pulling all you big monsters in my workout here at the Army Champions group. I've actually gained muscle weight, and I'm thinking, this doesn't make any sense to me. I'm usually around 161, 162, because you guys, I gained like 3 pounds. So I had to go to Paul and say, Paul, what do I do? He says, well, what a lot of guys do is they take an Epsom bath. I'm like, yeah, but that's hot water. I don't like that.
Alan, that's what I do.
Oh man, dude, I did do it just to try it at home. I was miserable. I was feeling literally miserable. I felt like I had to throw up. That's how much I can't stand.
You can do it with just lukewarm water and soak for a whole hour instead of 10 minutes. And it's just as effective. So warm water, Alan, something that's just like a bathtub. For a whole hour, very relaxing. You could read a book, you could go on your phone. There's a lot of ways.
You do it again, that's what I'll do.
Yeah.
Because I'm not going to sit there and soak with some heat and watch my sweat come out of my body.
And boiling water for 10 minutes.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
I don't know how people do it. I just don't like heat.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel you.
But the heat was on when it came to my good friend Adam Wilmot.
That's what I was just about to say. How was that?
I'll tell you what, Adam had the right attitude coming into that competition. He avoided me like a plague. I love the guy, but he's smart. That's a good mental thing to do against your opponent is don't give him time. Don't give him, the time of day, as it were. Just don't be so, if you're in that mentality, don't be so friendly where you're just, buddy, right? I'm not one to do that because I don't play those games, but for him, I think he was smart in it because that's his personality. I'm never fearful of anybody. I don't take names. I don't really consider my opponent being on the other side of the table in the first place, so it doesn't really matter. All I knew is training with the Army Champions group, you and my good friend Scott Strabrowski and Paul and all the guys I'm training with. You guys have made me really, really strong. Yeah. And has given me a lot of confidence. Somebody asked me just this weekend that, when was the strongest you were at your peak? And I'm thinking, well, with a guy with autism, I think you're going to have to define what that means. And we come to the conclusion that probably if I had to choose a time that I was dominant, stronger, blah, 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 it was probably over the top. Right. So July 9th.
But that one day or that one time frame.
That whole time of my life would be 1986 would be. But at the same time, I'm stronger today.
Yeah, no, that's what I wanted to talk to you about. Because when people say that they're in their prime, they don't take everything into an account. To truly be a prime version, that's the best of everything. And you
Yeah.
can never be the best of everything.
Yeah.
You essentially are better in different ways. Like as you've gotten older, your tendons have thickened, but your muscles, in terms of their muscle output, the amount of weight you can move from A to B, maybe that's gone down because the muscles get smaller, the muscle fibers begin to shrink, but those tendons only got thicker. The ligaments only got thicker. It's just a different type of strength, right?
There you go. It is. Well, it's a different game for me now. I'm willing to go places where I typically would not go. I will go to strength and power and endurance if I need to. But in my earlier career, I bypassed all those things. I just wanted to hear ready, go, and I was gone, right? Whereas today, I don't feel, while I can still do that, as when I pulled Ricky Ramos, you saw that, but having power behind it, it makes a huge difference. Because if I do get stopped, I'm able to pull someone through like I did with the Carolina Hurricane in our final match with right-handed. You'll see that. I'm not going to spoil it for anybody.
Spoil it. Spoil it.
Adam. Yeah. Adam came in prepared, no doubt, ready to just, I think his focus was not anybody but me. He had that goal, and I wasn't going to let him get in a position where I would get in trouble.
People don't
while
realize
he was
just how
able
strong
to
you
have
are.
a good long match with me, I never let him get in a position where he would be on the positive side of the table. In other words, to keep it real simple, I kept him past center.
Yes.
You understand that? And even did when I did pull him over, he actually was in such great condition. He actually pulled me back, but I still felt like I was in great position regardless. Like I was never in any trouble pulling Adam, right? So I was completely confident.
I don't think Adam will ever beat you again, personally. I think you're probably going to go the next 10 years and lose to very few people. And most of those people will be just a lot heavier, I think.
Oh, now you're thinking about our match.
Yeah, I am thinking a little bit about our match, but I'm also thinking about other potential matches. There's a lot of guys I think you should consider pulling just because of their ability to come up in the sport. Like, I think you and Austin Wade is inevitable. Austin being probably 185 or 190.
Yeah, but see, I don't really have a desire
Austin
to do
Wade,
that
though.
anymore.
And then there's Artem Tarenko that you could pull,
Yeah.
who is 185. That's a great
Yeah,
match.
Kyle, I need to stop you right there. I don't feel like I need to prove myself to go beyond 165.
You don't. You definitely don't, Alan. I think in terms,
I'd love to see some of these guys
yeah,
come down closer to my weight,
yeah,
and pull them. I don't like pulling 185. It's a really tough class. I'll tell you, we taught that Mr. Olympia power arm wrestling competition was very tough for the 185.
yeah,
Very tough. There's some really good guys.
You had some of the best in the world that were in that class alongside Artem, so that was substantial. And I definitely don't want to make it sound like I think you have anything to prove, because you have nothing to prove. I think just in terms of these people getting to prove themselves, some of them just can't cut weight. They really can't. Like they're rising up, their future heavyweights, and it's just going to be hard for them to cut weight. Your best matches, I think, right now at 165, in terms of someone who deserves to pull you, I think, is Dalton Duncan.
Okay, bring him on.
I think we should make that happen. And he's already showed me that he's definitely willing, but he has a super match coming up with Adam Wilmot.
Oh yeah, nice. When is that?
It's very soon, I think, like in a couple months or something.
Oh, very cool.
A few months, maybe. So
yeah,
we'll see how he does against Adam.
Has he pulled the Carolina Hurricane?
I assume he has. I would think that Dalton has beaten him. However, I don't know that for sure.
Okay.
And we could also assume that the Carolina Hurricane has gotten a lot stronger since the last time they pulled.
Well, yeah, he's a strong kid, but I think he's got speed over strength.
Gotcha. Well, you
Um,
know what's really good about Dalton is he's got an arm longer than yours.
oh, nice. What do you do for a living?
I don't really know actually. We talk every now and then. He's really tall, really skinny, long arms, big hand.
Great. Well, that's awesome. I need some 165ers. That's awesome.
Yeah, and he has a
So we
165.
got one guy on the list.
And then you have Jason Tarver, who at 165, I think he's the national IFA champion currently.
Okay.
He is not ranked in North America. Dalton is ranked, but I would say that Tarver deserves the match. He's definitely hungry and motivated, and he only wants to pull people who are the very best. So,
Have those two gone after each other?
no, I mean, I could try to make them arm wrestle each other, but I think they both really want to arm wrestle you.
Well, they should arm wrestle each other to see who has the right to come after Alan Fisher.
That's a good idea. I think maybe they should arm wrestle me. If they can't beat me,
You get down to 165. Come on.
Alan, I'm a future super heavyweight.
Yeah, no kidding. And I got to arm wrestle you?
Yeah, it's becoming hard to keep that weight down.
Yeah. Oh, keep that weight down below 220. Is that what you're saying?
I have to be 199 for our super match.
Okay. Is that what you're going for?
Yeah, 199.
Okay, you heard it here, folks. He's going to be 199 pounds.
Alan, you have to pull me. It's inevitable, you know. I'm your arm wrestling grandson, you know.
Here we go.
So
Another guy I have to
gonna have to be that way.
Kudos to is George Whitfield.
Yeah, let's talk about George.
Oh my goodness. Well, first of all, I have the greatest respect for his dad, who's no longer here with us, but Burt Whitfield. Okay, so give you a little bit of my history. When I came on the scene as a professional arm wrestler, the very first tournament I went to, deciding not to go to the World Amateur Championships in Buena Park, California, okay, which was people came from all over the world just to go to that tournament. I decided not to go to that in October because I was already dominating like 3 classes back then, or 2 classes above my own. And I thought, I'm just going to wait for the World Championships in December. That's going to be right there in Las Vegas, right? Well, the guy who actually got me thinking about becoming a professional athlete was Ernie Jeffries. And if you remember Ernie Jeffries?
I've heard the story a couple times, but you're going to have to refresh me.
Yeah, and he basically, Ernie Jeffries was the one that took and really like was one of the, I call us a pioneer who took wrist wrestling to the arm wrestling table, the peg design donut pad, which was not his design, but that was John Woolsey and Ron Bennett's design, and it just took off from there. It's the table you train on, the one with the donuts, right? The donut pad.
I'm actually building 2 of them right now for our super match.
Nice. So, we're gonna do it on a donut pad now.
That's what you wanted. You said donut
I
pad.
didn't mind. I didn't dig either way. I'm cool with it.
You gave me the tables. They're
you want to train on it, but I don't. It doesn't matter to me.
All right. Well,
I did like the Michael Todd table that he brought. Michael Todd brought a table to the after party and where the first house was. It was the one with the WAL wider, not wider, but longer pads. Right? And wider.
I am sure you would love to pull me on that table, Alan. You know what you're gonna do if we're on that table? You're gonna completely negate all my inside power.
So going back to Ernie Jeffries, Jeffries was the one who invited me out to the house. I was about 150 pounds, but I had a massive hand, obviously. And he said, look, he says, in his own expletive way, that I could be a world champion if I learned how to use my hand. So I left that night, his home, and I don't know, something clicked in my brain where I decided to become a professional athlete from that day on and stop drinking beer and doing all the other thingies I was doing, right?
Yeah. I mean, you changed your life completely.
A mug of beer while I'm arm wrestling these guys in competition. Like, I guess it's just not the right thing to do.
No, it's not what a professional athlete would do. I mean, that
Ernie also wrote the book Arm Wrestling, How to Become a Champion. And I used to read that book before every competition I went. And I'm not a reader, so I would kind of breeze through the thing looking at it, right? Anyway, I remember going to the NAWA, National Arm Wrestling Association's World Championships, December of 1980 in Las Vegas. And Ernie was there with me, and Ernie said to me, there are two guys you've got to watch out for. John Renfro and Burt Whitfield.
Yes.
He says, everybody else, I'm not worried about. I'm looking at him thinking, well, I'm not worried about anybody. I don't care who you're all right. Because I'm in a different frame of mind even back then in my first pro tournament. But big long story short, I come to find out later really who Burt Whitfield was. One of the most, you know what? I just wrote something about that too. I put him on.
Is Burt Whitfield the guy that was a legendary arm wrestler who has a son that plays like pro baseball?
If George plays baseball, I don't
know if he does. I don't know him that well.
Yeah. No, Burt was the guy, he was known all throughout North America, same with John Renfro. I think Burt was more famous. But Burt was, well, you know who Giannis Amelins is, right?
Of course.
Okay. I put Burt on the same level as far as knowledge and, you know, that whole technical side. I put them like in the same category. Those two guys were like some of the greatest. But
yeah, you told me a lot of stories about him, that's for sure.
I look forward to George getting into our sport because he's already, I mean, when I shook his hand and got set up with him in arm wrestling, I knew there was something different about this kid. I didn't even know it was Bert's son until later.
Yeah.
But I definitely knew something. And man, if he sticks with the sport, and he'll be more than his dad ever was, I think. He's just going to have to stick with it. But I know for his dad, even though I was told to watch out for John Renfro and Burt Whitfield, I flew right through both of them in that first professional championships.
And how did you do against George Whitfield in the competition?
Same thing.
You just blew right through him. I mean, history does repeat itself.
No, he's a tough kid. I mean, I can tell him. Of course.
Yeah, no disrespect to him whatsoever. I think
I have utmost respect for him, for sure.
Absolutely.
And you know, he's going to train to beat me, but I'll probably be 70 by the time he actually comes close.
And he still won't. Alan, I am going to be the only person that beats you until you retire. I'll beat you, and then you will go the next 10 years, and you will never lose.
There you go. He's got these interesting predictions, doesn't he?
Yeah, I'll be the last person to ever beat Alan Fisher because Alan Fisher will have the most successful 10-year career where he just can't lose after that.
That'd be sweet. If I keep training with you big monsters, I don't have a choice unless age decides to set in. That's all in God's hands, not mine.
Yeah, but that can barely hold you back, Alan. I think we're looking at 6 decades of excellence, you know?
You're very cool.
It's really cool. I mean, the sport is very lucky to have you, Alan.
Oh, thanks.
That's for sure.
I love giving back, man. So that's why we got the Arming Champions group, so I can give back to all you guys.
Speaking on that, what do you think about the charity event that I have coming up that I've been sponsored for?
I think that's such a great idea. Anything you can do, and if I'm there for you to help you raise money for this event for kids, charities, I'm all for it.
I appreciate that.
Recently, I know you became a representative of our company with Juice Plus. Yes, and what's really cool about that is you have what they call the Children's Health Study. And it's been going on for, I want to say 12, 13 years now, where they give free fruits and vegetables either in capsule or gummy form, starting at the age of 4 all the way up to the age of 18. And even if you're in college, they'll go to the age of 21, where you get free product, free Juice Plus.
You get free gummies. You get free gummy bears, basically.
Free gummy bears.
What kid wouldn't want that?
No kidding. Well, hey, what about some adults who don't leave us out,
Yeah,
right?
of course, of course. I mean,
When the
Chance
gummies first
Shaw
came out.
loves his gummy bears, Alan.
Oh, well, those are the kind of gummies you shouldn't be eating.
Yeah, he loves them though. So we got to get him on some vitamin gummy bears.
Yeah, so some fruit-based gummy
Yes.
bears. There you go.
Yes. All Juice Plus.
Well, I
If
already
you
did.
guys don't know, Alan actually got me my own Juice Plus referral link. I'll probably put it in the description, but definitely in the description is that GoFundMe. Please, guys, go donate to the GoFundMe. All the money goes directly to the charity. I am forgetting the name of the charity off the top of my head. I'll write the name down in the description if you want to research them. But they are the #1 charity in Texas for raising money for kids with special needs. They put on the special needs kids Olympics in Texas, and they are by far the biggest one. And they've been involved in arm wrestling since 2013, I believe, 2014 or 13. I'll put some links.
Really, that event, Kyle, is getting very popular. Well attended,
Yes.
arm wrestling event. I believe the proceeds, if I'm not mistaken, a lot of that goes to the kids. I mean, it's just.
I'll answer your question, Alan. All the profits go to the event, and almost no one is getting paid to work, from what I know. I'm sponsored.
Why don't we plug the event and get this place full of arm wrestlers?
That's what I want to do, because I got sponsored by David Kotlow of the Arm Wrestling Uncensored. I'm coming to the event, and I'm going to compete on the card and work the event if they need me. You got Paul Italia, who has sponsored not one but 2 super matches. He's got Corey West and Todd Zilla competing on the card, and he's got Justin Bishop and Bill Logston competing on the card. He's completely paid for that. He makes no money off the event. All the profits that the event is getting made, and I forget all the names of the people who are involved in making the event, but you have a lot of really good people that are putting the event on, and all the money is going to kids.
So where is it? The event? Do they have a website? Do they have a Facebook presence?
Lindale, Texas, and it's mainly being advertised on Facebook. You got all Paul Italia's flyers, and then you have flyers that come out from some of the different Texas organizations, I believe.
But arm wrestling, would you say it was arm wrestling what? Where they're having?
Lindale is where it's at.
Oh, no, you said something about arm wrestling disclosure, or?
I don't remember what I said.
Uncensored arm wrestling.
Oh, that's my sponsor, so I'm getting completely sponsored to come out to the event. But
people can find out about it there. On that.
Yes, they can find out about it in that Facebook group. David Kotlow is the admin and creator of Arm Wrestling Uncensored, and he's a pretty cool dude. He sponsored me because he wanted me to come out to the event and help raise money for the kids. And that's not something I would ever say no to. If someone wants to sponsor me to come to an event to raise money for kids, that's literally my life's mission. That's all I really want to do, truly. My goals are to, one, be a professional athlete in the sport that I love, but more importantly, I want to raise money for kids, and I want kids to be able to compete in our great sport. So the fact that I'm getting this opportunity is the greatest opportunity I could ever be given.
Beautiful. Well, when people decide to get into children's health study, a lot of those profits can go to those kids too.
Yes. Yeah, we can work that out. I think
I'll send you a link to that since you don't have it. And you can put it in the description below.
Thank you, Alan. I really appreciate that. So before I let you go, if you have a few more minutes, let's hear your thoughts on the super matches, starting with the main event. Corey West and Todd Zilla. Who do you think's winning?
Oh, that's a really tough one. I don't think it's going to be dominant by either one.
Gotcha.
I think it's going to be a challenge, no matter how you look at it. I wouldn't tell you who would be the winner there. Is Corey completely healed? I know he was injured.
For the sake of the discussion, we should probably assume he's completely healed, because it's been what, a year now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't say who's going to be the winner there. I just know it's going to be real difficult.
It should be a lot of fun. All right. So the other super match that is one of the big matches on the pro card is Bill
Okay.
Logston and Justin Bishop. Two people that you've pulled extensively.
If Justin is in good shape, healthy, been training with his brothers, whatever, I think Justin's going to destroy my good friend Bill Logston. I don't think there's even an opportunity for Bill to even stop him.
That's interesting.
Yeah, I just don't think so. But again, what kind of condition is my friend going to be in?
So let's add an element to that. If Justin, for whatever reason, was not strong enough in a certain area, how is Bill going to win that match? If you were responsible for coaching Bill Logston to win that match, what would you tell Bill Logston that he needs to do to beat Justin Bishop?
He's got to go beyond who he is. He needs to step out of. He's got to be a completely different person mentally, in the sports psychological realm. He's going to have to be able to hit his cadence and his move way before Justin has a chance to even stop or get into his power in any way, shape, or form. That's pretty much it.
Yeah, because Bill does have a lot of strength.
He does.
Yeah,
he does. But if I'm going to compare the strengths, a strong, ready Justin Bishop, I don't think Bill can slow him down. Prove me wrong, Bill. You know I love you.
Yes. All right. So now there's another real big match on that card. Spider-Man.
Oh, yeah. One last thing. It also depends on what hat Justin Bishop wears.
That's a good point. I wonder what hat he is going to pull out for it.
Wait, next.
Makes a world of a difference. So Paul Italia has also sponsored Spider-Man versus Venom.
What?
It's going to be for the kids.
Oh, and who is Spider-Man and Venom?
I do not know. I think I'm going to wear the Venom costume in the after party if I lose my match to Matt Craig.
Okay.
However, I don't know who's actually Spider-Man and Venom, but who would you rather see win that, Spider-Man or Venom? I may take the answer personally, Alan.
It's almost like, who do the kids want to see win?
Yes, who do the kids want to see?
I would say Spider-Man if they're kids.
No!
If they're kids, you're not a kid.
I was a kid.
But you're not now. I'm saying at the point where you were a kid, I think Spider-Man is more revealed than a Venom. But for a younger, like a youth up type thing, older youth, I would agree. People are going to say Venom.
It's a good match. I think if Venom uses his superior frame and brings the match inside, I think he could win that because, Venom's a lot bigger than Spider-Man. Spider-Man's probably going to have to top roll, I'd imagine.
When you think of Spider-Man, you got to think of all the different webs that he's going to be spitting at this guy, right? True. He can stop him in his tracks just doing that. True.
There is going to not be a strap, that's for sure. You're just going to be webbing each other.
There you go,
all day with the other hand. So I predict no strap on that one. All right, so let's get into my matches on the card. Left-handed, first match of the day, opening up the entire event. I am pulling Matt Craig. What are your thoughts on that?
Are you healed?
No, I'm not healed. I've had the injury for a while, but I feel very strong now, and I feel very strong, and mentally I feel ready, and I don't think I've ever been this strong in my life.
Okay, so you can be strong, right? But the mental part of it can overcome the pain.
Absolutely.
To a certain extent. I mean, you got that book. What's the name of the book? Let's tell everybody.
Yep. In the Pursuit of Excellence.
Right. So have you been reading it?
I've been brushing up on it.
Okay, so that'll answer your question,
Yeah.
right? It will answer your question as to whether you can overcome adversity in any way, right? Any opposition, any part of negativity. That's really what it's all about.
Yeah.
So it's about if you are going in there healthy, mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, if it's all together in a good homeostasis place, then you're going to be dominant.
Yes.
But you got to get it. You got to bring it all together at that moment in time. And you know when you do that, you should have started a long time ago, right? It's not something you just bring on the week before.
Yeah, I haven't had much notice to pull Matt, but to be honest with you, Alan, I feel mentally so fired up. I imagine that I'm going to walk in there and I'm going to dominate the match from the get-go. I don't believe Matt will have enough strength for me. He's been gym training again for about a month or two. I have not been gym training. I've not been arm wrestling, but after the IFA, I pulled for 14 days straight. Any day that I wasn't pulling, I went to the gym and trained really hard. Within the week's notice I had for this, I trained really hard for 4 days and I could not feel stronger. I've been doing like sets of 20 pull-ups. I've been arm wrestling.
Your weight, that's really good.
Yeah, I feel unstoppable mentally. Like I'll arm wrestle on the table for 3 hours straight, barely getting off the table. A lot of people keep saying I should rest, and I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna rest just fine. I have 4 or 5 days of like rest, active recovery. Like from here on out, it's really just mental game and staying healthy.
Good, perfect.
I'm
Who's
excited.
the other guy?
Niles Anderson, the protege of Todd Zilla, who on paper is way better than me.
Well,
however, I shouldn't say way better.
Yeah.
Our wins are actually very similar. I beat Danny Gillian at the IFA, and the person he beat, Artem Tarenko, he beats Artem Tarenko, but Danny Gillian beat Artem Tarenko. So you could definitely make an argument that I could win. However, on paper, he's definitely just more proven. But I mean, he's the one who challenged me. And if you challenge me to a super match, I think you're always going to be in for a rude awakening. I haven't lost a super match in over a year where someone challenged me. Anyone who's challenged me and put money that's saying that they could beat me has lost.
That's a good thing I didn't challenge you then.
It's a good thing you didn't challenge me.
I don't want to be on that.
I challenged you.
I don't want to be on that list.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Alan, you have no idea how much it means to me that I'm going to get to pull you. That it means the world to me. I think promotionally, we could make it a great match. And I think in terms of my goals, win or lose, I'll be happy just because I'm getting another opportunity to test myself against the man who brought me up in the sport. You know, I mean, my dad, Steve Serber, even Travis Bajent, who worked with me when I was very young. You guys all did a lot for me, but Alan, you really were the person in my life, my entire life, pretty much, who I saw as my grandfather. Well before I ever even met you, I was 8 years old, 7 years old, and I went to school telling people stories about the great Alan Fisher, the man who was teaching my dad how to arm wrestle. And I would go and beat everyone at arm wrestling and be like, so you're going to want to do this and this. And I was very happy when I finally met you at like 13 or 14. Awesome. And it meant the world to me that I've got to train under you, especially since I came back to the sport a couple of years ago. We've been training pretty hard. You helped me rehab from my injuries that I sustained when I was about 6 months back into the sport, and my elbow just got stupid strong.
This is your elbow?
Good. Yeah. All this entire forearm.
That's what you call your elbow right here. This whole thing, right?
This whole thing is the elbow. It's all one machine.
Figure out the life of you. Your
Alan,
elbow was strong.
Call me a spark plug because I'm gonna light you up.
Yeah, right. Okay. That's all that smack talk that I don't get care to hear anywhere.
Do you know what that quote is from, though, Alan?
Huh?
That was from Over the Top.
From what?
That was from the movie Over the Top.
Oh, what did they say?
Call me a spark plug because I'm gonna light you up.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, who said it?
I forget the name.
Huh.
He was one of the guys I think in the final four of the Over the Top movie, like the movie, not the actual tournament.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Nice. So it's good. For this whole event that we're going to be doing between you and me,
Yes.
maybe you should think about maybe raising money for those kids with our event.
I'd rather do a charity that's local to us.
Oh,
A California one, because I've worked with the California Special Olympics in the past when I was a kid myself. So I still get emails from them. So I think I would want to reach out to them and see if they would want to, have any part of it.
nice. Let's get it done.
Yeah.
That was good, my friend.
I think that'd be really good. Alan, do you know that it's my goal in life now to start arm wrestling nonprofit?
No, I did not know that.
It's something I want to fully commit to within 5 to 10 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
Nonprofit Arm Wrestling Association.
That's sole purpose is sending people to go arm wrestle in the most prestigious events in the world. It's very young adults, teenagers, and youth athletes as young as probably about 8 or 9 years old would be my entire focus and my scope. I want to start 2 podcasts eventually talking about the youth arm wrestling scene and try to raise awareness. I just got my first head coaching job to teach arm wrestling in high school, so it's all starting to come into motion.
Congratulations. Now you and your dad and you started this thing called the Youth Arm Wrestling something.
Youth Arm Wrestling League was a dream that I had when I was 14, or no, sorry, I was 13. So for my 14th birthday party, we hosted the Youth Arm Wrestling League tournament where I beat everyone in my school.
Nice guy.
I had everyone come, pay like $5 or something, and then they got a t-shirt and they got to compete in the tournament. And I just mental focus, bah. Those kids didn't stand a chance, Alan.
Yeah, maybe you should bring that back as one of your nonprofits.
Yeah, I probably should.
That'd be cool. I got to run, my friend. So let's get whatever we got to get done. I'll send you the link for your children's health study. And you check that out. You got it, guy.
Hey, Alan, I really appreciate you coming on. And if you ever want to talk about anything in the arm wrestling world, you know who to call.
You got it. Bye, guys.
Have a good one.